Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to game numero dos of the Power Bottom Boys versus POPO's Pecking Order. My name is Fleeing Panda, and we're back live for game number 2 at my casting desk. We have shut down webcams because I think those were lagging people's computers. Not my fault they have toasters, but they have toasters. Anyways, joining me at casting desk is Guy Fieri and Opie. Rob just donated $25 on his bet for that pentakill by Fudgy Ditters. I'm not gonna lie, I gave Fudgy Ditters my MVP vote because of the pentakill, even though Rob set it up and had to pay his own $25. Anyways,
So, I had to deuce out on a part of that game. I was having some issues going on personally, but I wasn't surprised when I came back and saw the game was still going on that it resulted in a game being won by the team with Kog'Maw asses. Like, that doesn't surprise me after 15 minutes of play. So I don't know what happened in the mid game that stalled it out. Whether it was good play by that managed to stall out the engages and stall out the game. Whether it was kind of a complicated issue where with like Trundle, Morgana, Skarner, you don't really have nearly as many to fight.
From where I was sitting, sitting at my computer. Anyways, from where I was sitting, the what really started to slow the game down for Popo's Pecking Order was one fight in the mid lane. At about 20 or so odd minutes in, they went Trundle Skarner around from the topside bush into sorry, it's got people talking to me. And from Skarner into the topside bush, came around the side and tried to dive underneath the tower onto Fudgy Ditters and Murphy.
I think I saw that fight.
Right,
yeah.
That is the fight that I think started slowing down the game because they lost that fight. Frontlash was somebody was able to kill StarCraft while he was still taking tower aggro. They also lost Gordon Ramsay in that fight as well.
Because I think I remember seeing that one. StarCraft had tower aggro, and then died, and then it switched right over to Hoagie, and it was already heated up by that point. So that tower shot was like pounding them.
That tower shot took like a quarter of his health bar, and that was the end of it.
Yeah.
As we were trying to get the casters in the game so we can get set for game number 2, but I mean some early numbers.
He was taking a bunch of notes. What is Opie?
Yeah. So, I mean, overall there was just like I think a couple things that ended up going into the game turning around, and it was just the fact that it was a lot of in the team fights, which is what PBB was trying to do. They were trying to get those team fights off because that was where they were going to be winning, especially with the Orianna. And Rob had some insane Orianna ults in those fights. Like, I think the point where, like, yes, the game started slowing down, and I would agree with you there on that play from earlier, but I think that big Baron throw essentially was the point where you're like, okay, I think PBB might actually come back here, and I think they're going to win this game. Because it was just, in that Baron fight in particular, there was the 4-man Orianna ult, and then you had all of the Rakan engage hit everybody on their team. So it's just like CC after CC after CC, and then you had like Nocturne damage on top of that. So it was just so much going on. And the fact was that afterwards, StarCraft TP'd in. It was a 4v5 the whole time, and then just happened to get there to clean up at the end. So that was a 4v5 fight that they essentially won there.
Oh, for the Penta.
No. This was.
At the Baron, not Baron. Okay, that's why I was double checking.
This was what, the second Baron they had the game, I think. But I think that was the big flipping point in the game. Was then they realized their team fight was stronger, so they weren't quite as scared to try and initiate those fights, because they had been playing very passively, especially the bot lane. And I mean, with a Kog'Maw lane, you're gonna be a little bit more passive early because you're not as strong until you get those kind of core items.
All right, so it looks like we are ready for pick bands, and we're gonna turn it over to our casters, Biscuit Hat and Euromoose.
What's going on, guys? Hopefully I could play-by-play cast this this match. You know, we're always hopeful, right? But coming in to pick some bans here, it looks like. Am I seeing that right? It looks like Popo's pecking order is going to get rid of their first ban.
They got penalized the ban because of the
Oh,
the hold up first match.
okay. It looks like they just got penalized the ban. So instead, interesting. You know, it looks like I think we have the exact same bans outside of that on both sides, which I think is pretty standard. I think the last game it came down to a few team fights, which I don't think changing bans or picks necessarily would change the outcome of that game per se. So yeah.
Yeah. So you see, Popo's pecking orders kind of have to decide between. Okay. So they decided to ban Oriana as opposed to Lee Sin or Karma that they banned in the first game. Also, Sivir left open for. Well, I guess it's Piper now, not Gordon Ramsay on 80 carry, so that is a bit different.
Yeah, we got actually, you know, right after I say that the exact same bands, we got some new bands with the Ori band coming in from Popo's Pecking Order and the Nasus band coming in from the Power Bottom Boys, which leaves up some interesting new picks here on the side, on both sides actually, and we could see that with the Karma and Kaisa pick. I believe it would be Karma top just because I don't think Karma support is really meta right now and doesn't work.
Rob has played Karma mid before and had some pretty good
you're right.
success. So that's where I'm expecting to see it. I'm excited for that. His Karma mid was really successful last time he played it, I believe.
Yeah, and I mean that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you know, and that Karma pick also works as a flex pick. You know, I don't know if Front Lash plays it a lot, but we have seen Karma top in PMA LCS. You know, specifically in that one clip where casters are just crying because it's another wet noodle fight between Karma and the Maokai. But definitely a flex pick here for the Power Bottom Boys. They're trying to outmaneuver the Popo's Pecking Order here in pick ban. And we are waiting here to see what Popo's Pecking Order is going to pick, I believe. So
yeah, Guy Fieri giving up Morgana, Sivir, and 2K18. That is a powerful bot lane. Morgana really allowing Sivir to pop off, and Sivir with their ultimate allowing Morgana to get into the enemy team with a Skarner too, no less. This Sivir comp's already going. Like that's pretty big.
Yeah, you know, now that both subs have been confirmed, you know, we could see that both subs are able to pick something that they're maybe a little bit more comfortable on, and Gordon Ramsay picks that Morgana again, and Piper's able to pick, you know, the Sivir as well. But the Taric pick for Murphy, how does that make you feel, Yurmu, seeing another Taric?
So, yeah, Taric's pretty dope. Not gonna lie. And with Kaisa, so something that you don't see often with Taric is when someone gets really far away from him with the Taric ultimate on them. As soon as you start casting the Taric ultimate, it doesn't matter how far away they are from you. Whether the bond with the W is broken, the ultimate still goes off on them. So something that could potentially happen here is, say Kaisa hits a W on someone that, you know, she should not be able to ult in on. Taric ultimates her, and she dashes in. She's invincible when she gets there. So that could be some playmaking potential for Kaisa. Also, the Karma looks like it could be a very team fight centric comp where, Karma and Power ease the team to run at them and Tarek ults as they're chasing them down. So we see a lot of bans, I think, aimed at top lane.
Yeah, definitely. Top lane bans are something, not new to PMA LCS. We have a lot of really good top laners in our league across the board, and Frontlash and StarCraft are both great top laners. They know what's going on here, and, the Camille, Shen, and Malphite, I mean, those are all top laners that could get really tanky or could do a lot of damage, or could just provide a lot of utility for either teams or team comps. And so seeing those bans, even regardless of whether Frontlash or StarCraft are proficient on those champions, completely makes sense. And I completely, agree with them. But we have a Lee Sin pick here for Labby and a Vlad pick here for probably mid lane. However, I guess it could be flexed maybe to top. I'm not entirely sure how viable that is for StarCraft, but I do know Labby has a very clean Lee Sin. I know he plays a lot of solo queue, so
Labby known for his Lee Sin. It gets this far through picking bans. I feel like POPO's pecking order was either expecting it or kind of calling a bluff. The Camille, of course, I said top lane bans, but it could also be aimed at Labby in the jungle. And Nocturne, of course, from game one. But they might have either overlooked or, again, anticipated the Lee Sin. Perhaps there is a challenge saying, bring it on, bring on your best champion, Labby. We know you're good Lee Sin. Show it off. And yeah, the Vlad, also great with the Sivir. One thing that may impact the effectiveness of this Vlad is this patch, the Shirley's Reverie was nerfed specifically for Vlad's use of it.
Okay.
Yeah, now it gives mana regen and has less independent move speed. I think from 8% for just having it down to 5%, and also the cooldown is 90 seconds as opposed to 60 seconds. So obviously Shirley is very strong with Sivir. Morgana could still easily build it, but Vlad would not be as effective on this patch with the Shirley's Reverie as it was last patch. Also Ornn, as the text for Ornn keeps getting bigger. I guess we have to acknowledge it.
Yeah, definitely. The Ornn pick here for StarCraft, like we said, we saw in the chat from Guy Fury, we needed some sort of engage here from StarCraft, and I think the Ornn pick is a great pick here for this team comp. I think POPO's pecking order really does pick ban well, but the Rumble pick actually coming in here for Frontlash should try to counter that, to try and counter the Ornn pick here, as the memes just keep on rolling, and it's PMA LCS with the memes. But yeah, we have a very interesting team comp from the Power Bottom Boys. I'm not really sure how well they'll be able to play it, but POPO's pecking order, I feel like, has just had some really good team comps in the past, and usually does well in pick and ban, but hopefully they could translate to a win here for them here in game 2, as we go into actual pick and ban. Yuramoose, what are you thinking here on the side of Power Bottom Boys with the Karma mid, the Rumble top?
I'm thinking I think that POPO's pecking order won this draft. It was looking all right for Power Bottom Boys until the second draft phase, but I feel like the Lee Sin and possibly the Rumble, now that I'm rethinking it, he kind of fits in, but the Lee Sin especially doesn't really fit in with their team comp. Of course, Labby just really good on Lee Sin, known for his Lee Sin, of course, but from a composition standpoint, it kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. Meanwhile, on the other side, these Silver Ultimates, Morgana, Skarner, and Vlad running you down while Ornn's ultimate is coming down on top of you. That's as good of a team fight as you're gonna get from a Sivir comp. So I think if they execute it right, if they don't like abundantly lose a lane in the early game, I think they've come out ahead in this draft.
Yeah, definitely. Something else to point out is that we just had a subscription come through from OP1. OP1 with the 11-month subscription. Thank you so
Hey,
much.
Opie.
You know,
Yeah.
OP, I believe, is in this Discord channel. He might be deafened, but OP, thank you so much, man. You obviously know where all the money goes, so I'm not going to break it down. But it's really awesome, man. OP also believes that PMA LCS is better than actual LCS, and I gotta agree with him on that one.
Yeah, actual LCS really isn't worth watching until Cloud9 wins again. So.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Okay. Let's hold it back here.
Let's talk about the
Anyway.
good league for now.
Anyways,
So let's talk
we're
about these
interrupting
team
your regular scheduled programming to let you know that the Warriors have won game number 1 when the Cavaliers blew a free throw at the end of the game.
Oh, no.
Sorry, Eric.
Anyway, back to something that's better than this, which is video games. Yeah, it looks like God, I'm so sorry. I'm so cringy. You know, with looking at these comps here, I kind of like the Rumble top actually. It gives the Power Bottom Boys a little bit more of a damage heavy comp here. And you know, like Guy Fury was talking in Twitch chat, you know, while the Rumble is not necessarily a meta pick right now, it does give a lot of engage for the Power Bottom Boys here, because you know that Rumble the Equalizer, I believe is what it's called. Oh God, what is gonna happen? Can engage in a team fight. I just can't read. Oh, well, I'm just gonna drop it. Moving on.
Yeah, engaging in team fights is going to be tricky on the side of Power Bottom Boys. I almost think that's just not quite the goal of their team. They're going to have to rely on making some big plays early with the Lee Sin, get him far ahead. Yeah, as Guy Fieri said, they have to snowball. And unfortunately, Kaisa, Tarek, two very weak laners. Well, maybe not very for Kaisa, but certainly not as strong as some others. Karma mid, you know, decently strong mid laner. And Rumble, not exactly experienced with the matchup. But I believe Rumble is a pretty good pick into Ornn. So I think. Yeah, so I think that if they want to get a lane ahead, Lee Sin's going to be looking at top or mid. Bot lane, if they do get Kaisa ahead, it will turn into a very strong late game carry for them. But it's just concerning, to say the least. Their mid and late game prospects don't look great. They're going to have to do something big early game.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how the Power Bottom Boys go through with that. I don't know. I'm very optimistic. I think it's not as bad as everybody's making it out to see in Twitch chat. Personally, yeah, there's the Ornn, there's the but I think you could easily pierce through them. If the Rumble gets ahead, or if the Lee Sin can land some really sick kicks. I don't think the Power Bottom Boys are gonna be in that bad of a position. If Rumble, like Vilo, I, what was said in Twitch chat. I mean, if Rumble lands a good ult, I mean that alone could change the entire team fight, regardless of how who is doing the engaging or whatnot. And that's what I was trying to say earlier, is that Rumble ult, as we've seen in the past on Rafal, can make or break a game, and it's going to be hopefully Frontlash is able to do something with it, because if not, it's going to be really again, I don't agree with you in saying that nobody's going to die to equalizer, because like I said, if Rumble gets ahead, and if Rumble gets can get an item ahead in front of Ornn, and Ornn can't build magic resist to keep up with the magic penetration that Rumble builds, it could be a dire situation here. I'll
let you finish.
No, please go ahead.
All right. So the way I see it is, we need to look at the win conditions,
Mhm.
and the difficulty of their win conditions is drastically different. For the side of POPO's pecking order, they really just need to survive lanes, which, again, not super familiar with top lane matchups, but Ornn into Rumble I could see how it could be a little troublesome, but mid and bot, they seem to be pretty even, or even easy matchups. So they need to survive lane, and then group mid and late game, and do what Sivir does. Just Sivir presses R, Ornn presses R, and the rest just is magic. That's where the magic happens. That's the Sivir comp. Boom, done, easy, so clean. And that's their win condition, is just run around mid game, wait for Sivir to ult, and then kill them. Meanwhile, Power Bottom Boys has one of my least favorite win conditions, because it's so unreliable, is they need to win one or more lanes pretty hard. And that's just not easy to rely on, because again, they don't have especially winning matchups, in my opinion. And if they go even in all these lanes, I don't see them pulling it out against such a strong Sivir comp.
I mean, to kind of go against that, though, we've seen comps like this, maybe not Sivir comps, but we've seen Jinx comps, for example, that were completely picked to protect the AD carry, or to engage with the AD carry, and they have not worked out in the past here in PMA LCS in this split. So that's why I'm a little hesitant in just giving this win order. I think if we're looking solely at pick and ban, I think they definitely, I mean, they have a more team-oriented comp. So for sure, like looking at pick and ban, they definitely win that. But I think like if we see how the team, if we see how both teams actually play and look at the individual laners, I think, I don't think the Power Bottom Boys are just gonna, lose. I don't think it's fair to say like, hey, the Power Bottom Boys are just gonna lose this game because they're going into a super comp, and that's. But as we're looking here at some runes, the Vlad actually took Predator. I'm not a Vlad player, but that seems like a very interesting choice. I don't know what Vlad would take, and I thought he would take something like that, or summon Airy maybe. But I guess the post pecking order is looking to really engage with the double Predator. So they're really playing into their comp, at least from a rune standpoint, it looks like.
Yeah, I'm not personally crazy about Predator on laners, just because you really can't. use it in lane. It's like not having a keystone for the better part of the game. But immediately a pause would not be
Wow.
PMA LCS, and we're going right back in. Great pause. Glad we all got to take a breather. So, yeah, again, this Predator on Vladimir is interesting. I see Guy Fury said in the chat, yeah, I don't care about my keystone, so let's go Predator. Well, it's good you don't care because you pretty much don't have one for a while.
Yikes.
And Predator Shirelia's nice, but it also just got nerfed. It's not a very efficient item. Some of your gold goes to mana regen. We see an invade here,
Oh
but
my
they are
God.
spotted. They're spotted.
This
is about
is
to be a
so
level
scary.
155.
Yeah, I
Oh
mean, something's gonna have to happen here. Either spells are gonna be blown.
Ornn's backing off. This is gonna be a
Ornn is
45.
Ornn, I think, is trying to bait out. Yep, he's trying to bait out.
Oh, they're on the wrong side of the river. Oh,
my
no!
God, the Tark Stun's gonna land on Ornn, and StarCraft might go down here. Oh, it looks like actually Membong is caught out here. It looks like he's gonna have enemy's base and try to flank him, but Labby's gonna be able to get the Q off. But not kick him over as he only has one spell. So it looks like nobody's gonna die, and no flashes are burnt.
I am dumbfounded that no one died.
Yeah,
How?
Wow.
And no, okay, yeah, no summoners. No summoners burn whatsoever. I see Ornn's teleports on cooldown, but that's it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the end of the world this early. I mean, yes, it'll be down for a few minutes, but at the end of the day, you don't really need it yet. Especially when it's just TPing back to lane. Yeah, you'll lose a couple minions here or there, but you know, you're not. It's not like you don't have it for like a Baron fight or a Baron play or something like that, where it's a little bit more detrimental.
Yeah, and essentially it puts him a health pot up on front lash. You see, he used that his health pot to regen while going back to base or back to lane, and now he's a little under. It seems that Ornn's eking out an advantage in this lane. That could be the opening for. Well, I got confused. Yeah, no, that's actually very bad for Rumble because they do need these lane advantages to make this comp work, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. You know, oh my God, Rumble is just taking so much damage against the Ornn. Ornn TPing the lane gave him that level advantage and health pot advantage, and so we're seeing that Rumble just paying for it. And Membong is looking for Labby's red here, as they're gonna fight a little bit over it, and I believe, yep, Membong smite steals it away, but it looks like he's gonna be collapsed on here, and the Karma, Rob's gonna and root Membong. Membong might be caught out as Rumble is here with him. Director camera's taking me away, but front lash is gonna flash, causing Membong to flash here, but Vlad is here to answer. Oh my God, Membong is solo, but he's able to get away. Rob is taking 2 tower shots, but the Empowered E is gonna let him and his teammates get away here. Again, everybody is just leaving unscathed. A couple flashes blown, but nothing major here in the mid lane.
Yeah, I feel like I wasn't paying attention to Vladimir the entire time, but it seemed like he was pretty late to come up for that. I don't know if the communication wasn't quite there, but I feel like if he moved a little faster, he could have helped, and maybe Membong wouldn't have had the flash, and maybe they could have even turned that around for a kill.
Yes, definitely. But it looks like Labby's going to be down here in the spot lane. The Spell Shield's going to take the Tark Stun away, but the Flash Ignite coming in here. Flash on Fudgy Ditters and the Ignite going off on Murphy. He ignited a little too soon, but the Binding's going to land on Fudgy Ditters. But it looks like bot lane is not going to re-engage here since Labby's still down here. A couple Summoner Spells being blown on the side of the Power Bottom Boys, I believe. in exchange for nothing, and that is a lost trade actually for them, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, the trade. I'm at 5:03, 5 minutes 4 seconds.
I'm at 5:05, 5:06. And I'm 3 seconds behind again, and it looks like Frontlash is going to probably go down here as he's one auto away, but Starcraft's going to get away. You already saw that, though. I'm so sorry. Eric, what are you at now? Okay. I believe I kind of. Are you at 30? Okay, I am a little bit ahead of you now, but it should work out.
I mean, everyone could just like speed it up until it gets to the current time. That's what I do.
Yeah, I'm at 6 right now.
So you see POPO's pecking order collapsing on this dragon. It's uncontested. So I'm not even sure.
Yeah, I mean,
Power Bottom Boys sees them doing it. And that was the Cloud Drake. Yep. So Sivir loves Cloud Drakes. I don't know if you knew. She's crazy about move speed.
yeah, I mean, you know, you can't go wrong with a it's only Cloud, and it's going to be really nice to have, as we see with the double Predator, like we saw last game. It's going to be interesting to see if it's another Cloud Drake again, and that'll just go in the favor of the of POPO's pecking order. But yeah, it's really funny to see. But it looks like Menbong might be caught out here. No, Labby's going to keep doing Scuttle, as it's the most important thing about League of Legends. Yeah. Looks like there might be a mid lane collapse here. Rumble, Frontlash is looking for something here as his top wave is pushed a little too far.
So as far as dragons, so the next one's an Ocean Drake. So we see not a mountain yet, and only one Infernal in the last game. So a lot of people think of Cloud Drakes and Ocean Drakes as like the lesser Drakes. You know, they don't give you direct damage to anything, but they have pretty unique advantages, especially Cloud Drakes on the Sivir comp. The advantage is obvious. You know, you want to run as fast as you can with Sivir. You want to move. The faster you can get to the enemy team, the better. But the Ocean Drake is honestly one of my favorite. I think they're only bad when they come individually. Having one Ocean Drake doesn't do a lot for you outside of landing phase. But a phrase I've taken to saying is, you know, one Ocean Drake is unfortunate, 3 Ocean Drakes is sustain. It can get really powerful once they start stacking up.
Yeah, it looks like we have a little bit of a bot lane advantage here. Oh my god, Gordon Ramsay's gonna land that binding. Holy cow. A lot of damage is... Oh my god, wait, is Menbong caught up here? The spell shield's gonna go away, but Rob might be caught out. Labby's gonna blast cone over the wall, causing his death, and Rob is gonna go down as well as he was rooted. The Ornalt's gonna come in on Rumble, and oh my god, that damage. Rumble's gonna have to flash away. Holy cow. What an interesting first blood. I don't know if that was the right call down there.
Yeah, Labby either not sure. Oh, another engage coming out already.
Oh my god, the bot lane. Tariq's stun is gonna land, and the ignite the heal flash for Sivir. The ignite will not be enough as Sivir healed, but wow, so much going on here. Rob is now engaging on Vlad. The root's gonna come out, but it won't be enough here.
So many things are happening so quickly, I can't even get a explanation out for what happened with Labby's blast gun, but it looked like he might not have known that their bot lane was right there with them. Battery overestimated himself on this Lee Sin, which I'm wondering if that's the case. You know, it's always drawn bans for Labby, and now that he's finally got it, he wants to prove why it's ban worthy, and so far not quite delivering.
Oh, looks like we might have a collapse. Oh my god, the flash all on Menbung is gonna cause Rob to be pulled out, and Rob will go down to Menbung here, as well as Labby. Labby tried to help his buddy out, but he is also going down for that, as that is 2 more kills going to the side of Popo's pecking order, which is definitely not what the Power Bottom boys need right now, unfortunately. We have a little skirmish here in the top lane, but it is not looking good for the Power Bottom boys, as they are not snowballing. And Popo's pecking order is able to get some early kills, get some early ganks off. It's looking really good for Popo's pecking order. You know, they have lead, which right now is super crucial. It could be, you know, it could give a laner or a jungler a little bit of an item advantage here, as the gold is being spread out pretty evenly on the side of Popo's pecking order, I believe. Wow.
Yeah, this is rough and only getting rougher. Power Bottom boys. I mean, I had little faith in them last game, so they pulled it out. So I'm not gonna count them out this time. I don't like making the same mistake twice. But I will say it's a different situation than it was last game, and now they are truly up the creek in a sense, like not entirely gone, but if this gank in bot, this lane gank with Lee Sin pays off, it could be big.
Oh, yeah, but unfortunately that ward is going to come down from Piper. Wow, what a good ward, actually.
Yeah, and it seems like Power Bottom boys are just getting desperate to do something somewhere that works out. And that was the latest try, and it just didn't work out.
My god, the Ornald's gonna come in on front lash and knock him up, unfortunately. Membung's here to answer. The equalizer's gonna be blown, but it is not enough to deter anything, and front lash is gonna go down here. You know, Membung has been able to get some great ganks off, but it might come at the cost of an Ocean Drake. I'm not sure if that is worth it.
Because while they're doing this Ocean Drake, they're going to lose first tower in top lane. That's going down to Skarner and Ornn. An Ocean Drake, that's very nice, but they just lost first tower.
Mm-hmm.
Or are about to lose tower momentarily.
Ooh, we have a little bit of an engage here in bot lane. The Tark ult's going to come in and make them invincible, but I don't know if it's going to be enough of an engage to get anything, and it will not be, unfortunately. But if we look mid lane, Rob might be caught out here, as Membung is going to come around and look for something here. Membung is going to speed up, while Rob is also going to speed up. But now everybody's slowed. Vlad's going to pop his ult and just wipe away Rob. Rob is so squishy at this point in the game as of mid Karma, and that she will go down. The Morgue Binding is going to land onto Kaisa, but it's not enough to stop this engage. Labby's here. Labby's actually going to go in on Piper, but his damage is not enough. He's going to kick Gordon Ramsay away, but Fudgy Ditters is going to flash on top of Gordon Ramsay here, but Gordon Ramsay's going to flash, but it's not going to be enough. Labby's Q is going to land and kill Gordon, but oh my god, 2 flashes being blown at the sight of Menbung, who's going to ult Murphy here and kill him. Was blown, and that kill's going to go to Piper here. There's just so much superior gameplay here coming out from the from Popo's pecking order, just with clear communication, giving them this early game lead.
That was so well played by Gordon Ramsay. I have to say that that stopwatch in such a quick flash, the very instant he was out of the Zonias, he was away from the Tarek stun. That forced them to have to commit to a dive, and that got Fudgy Ditters killed. And then Menbung was able to collapse and kill Tarek as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's just we're. I don't want to say this because it might sound a little negative, but it's just I feel like this is a little bit different of a team than we saw last game. I mean, they are up 7 kills. I mean, literally, we are seeing the exact opposite performance from last game from both teams. A little ironic. in and of itself. I don't know about you, Reese, but it's just interesting to see how the coin is flipped, and hopefully Piper's Pecking Order doesn't throw away this early game lead here, and they could use it to win later and ultimately win the game. Looks like Membung's going to come in, but Frontlash is going to throw the equalizer onto 3 people, but it's not going to be enough here. Murphy stun's going to miss, but wow, do they really want Vlad here? The redemption's going to come off and heal, but Tarek's ult's going to come in. I think it's a little early here. 4 people are invincible. It's not going to be enough. Vlad is going to take a lot of damage here, but Membung's ult is going to ult Murphy, and Murphy's going to go down here. It's a 1-for-0 here.
Yeah, that was just a 4v5 team fight that they won. Meanwhile, Sivers just pushing bot lane. I think she might get this tower.
Yeah, I think, you know, POPO's Pecking Order is in a great spot. They're making great decisions here. And unfortunately, I'm eating my own words as I gotta say, Guy Fury was right. You know, the damage output is not enough here from any of these players. And Siver's gonna ult, and Frontlash is Frontlash is gonna go down as the auto is procced after he flashed, meaning that the auto was gonna go through no matter how far away he was. And yikes, Flash is gonna go down for Frontlash.
And this is why I hate win conditions that involve specifically winning your lanes, because it's so unreliable. Even if you say, like, you know, we've got a very strong top laner front Lash. You know, Rumble, you'd think he'd be able to harass an Ornn pretty well. Ornn is kind of Ornn, and that's the reason he's got some nerfs on the PB right now. Is just he's so safe as a laner. And the fact he can get magic resist in the lane, he can get it with his passive. Doesn't even need a recall to get his items. So, I mean, I think the draft just wasn't very well thought through. They were baited into picking this Lee Sin that does not work with the comp, and so they needed to win lanes, and it's just not happening.
Yeah, definitely agree with you on that. You know, the Power Bottom Boys just every lane has just not been doing well this game, and it is not a good game here on their side, unfortunately. It looks like POPO's Pecking Order is looking to set something up mid here. They're either going to try to get the tower or something. They know that Ornn can 1v1 Frontlash alone and will do fine, and that's why he's just sitting top lane. They know that he can push uncontested as he's up 2 levels, and it's just so freaking tanky. My God, like he can't do anything against the Ornn, and it's just so sad to see. You know, that Frontlash's Q literally didn't do anything. Yikes.
So I know we don't see a whole lot out of Skarner. I say we don't see it a lot. I say I don't see it a lot.
Oh my God, Skarner is gonna pull in Fudgy Ditters, and Fudgy Ditters is gonna go down to Vlad. However, the Tark ult's just negating so much damage, but Murphy's gonna be stunned by the Morq, and he's gonna unfortunately go down to Starcraft here, getting the kill. And that's gonna cost a mid lane tower here. That's it's 2 and a tower for nothing. It's just not looking good for the Power Bottom Boys. I'm very scared. Hopefully they can find the power and bounce back here and be the Bottom Boys they aspire to be in this game, because they are down almost 10k in gold. They are down all 11 kills. What are they gonna, Reese, what do they have to do here to get back? Game.
That's a good question, and one they should be asking themselves right now, because
oh boy.
because I don't know. It's gonna take a great catch, a great team fight. Something great has to happen.
Oh no, we got a death bush in here, and Labby's just gonna walk right into it and go down. Jesus, the stuff. You know, something we didn't talk about is the amount. Well, I guess we kind of talked about it. The amount of CC POPO's Pecking Order has. Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty bad with the, you know, if you walk right into it, the Skarner stun followed up by his ultimate, which wasn't used there, but the Morgana binding as well is just ridiculous. Ornn the brittle can make that binding last an actual decade. And Ornn's ultimate as well knocks up your whole team, and it's brutal. The amount of AOE and single target CC they have is brutal, in a word. So what I wanted to talk about a minute ago was Skarner has seeks convergence, and I don't think we usually see on Skarners, but it just kind of shows that they are relying on getting picks with this ultimate, as they, well, not with the ultimate, but a pick just like they did with Lee Sin a moment ago.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen that on a Skarner. And it's really interesting. We see it a lot in the, in LCS, where a jungler is basically like a second support, either building more vision, rip green smite, or building like a Knight's Vow or something like that. And we kind of see that here with Membung's build, which is kind of interesting. I really appreciate that, actually, seeing something a little bit different. It's definitely paying off here for their team, playing a little bit more tanky, a little bit more supporty, a little bit more safe. So I agree with you on that one. But it looks like we got some Baron pinks coming out from from POPO's pecking order here. We might see a Baron play here, as they are up 12 kills, and it might just go uncontested. Honestly, they have so much going for them. They control the entirety of this game. The Ornn, I believe could probably 1v2 if he really wanted to. Fudgy Ditters is just taking so much damage from these minions. Holy cow. And yep, there you go. There's Menbung just gonna ult the Taric, and Taric, where he went, he just dies. Fudgy Ditters is gonna get caught under tower. The Ornn ult's gonna come in and knock up Labby all the way from downtown. That's a double kill for Sivir, and that's just gonna be another tower down.
I think that's gonna be tower, and then probably inhib tower and inhibitor after that. Then they might collapse on Baron.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if I was POPO's pecking order, I would definitely get this inhib and then go straight to Baron. The Rumble ult, oh my god, he's going to flash Q onto Piper, but it's not going to be enough. He's going to be caught out here by a lot of CC here, and front lash goes down to he just got CC chain off the wall. If one CC is landed on somebody here against POPO's pecking order, they are just going down. Yikes. And that's a Baron.
The Rumble Flash was very greedy. Piper did take 3 successive tower shots because he was kind of skirting the range, like, oh, did I get out of the targeting range? No? Okay. But took 3 shots. But yeah, just unwarranted, because he didn't really respect that Piper might have had flash up too, which he did. So got himself killed. They won't be able to take the Baron though. That's the one golden lining in this. But inhib tower top taken, inhib and tower taken. So that's a huge buy as POPO's pecking order recalls.
Yeah, and going off of that, with both teams kind of resetting, and that Baron call not being made, it makes sense. Most of POPO's pecking order is level 12. That's a really early Baron, you know what I mean? And so that would have been a little bit of an aggressive play, but now that there's a little bit of a rotation here, as Ornn is going to go bot. Ornn has TP. He can make that pressure on Baron. He could TP in, rotate. And so they might just get another free tower because of that. The Ornn is so tanky. He can do so much. It's just not looking good for the power bottom boys.
Yeah, so I've done a little soul searching. I want to tell you what I found.
Oh,
I
boy.
think power bottom boys are in it deep. But I think... Okay.
Oh my god,
Right,
wait, Labby is actually going to catch Piper out, and Piper goes down. Holy crap, what a great pick from Labby, but it's going to cost him his life here, as Vlad is so hungry. He's looking for somebody. The Morgana Q is going to land on Murphy. Holy crap, that was across the screen Morgana Q. jeez.
If I were Popa's pecking order right now, if I were on that team, I would be screaming, "Let's go do Baron," because we just traded 80 carry for jungler. They cannot contest it. They don't have smite. I think that was a very poor trade. Popa's pecking order didn't quite take advantage of it in the way that they could have, just immediately turning on to the Baron. But that was pretty good. So Ocean Drake going over to them. But
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about
Oh, go ahead.
I wanted to talk about win conditions for Power Bottom Boys as they fall further and further behind. It's gonna take a lot, but I want to talk about it. Lisa needs to give up ever getting picks like that again. If that happened, and Popa's pecking order took full advantage of it, and he gets caught.
Oh my god, Menbug's gonna land an ult on Labby, and Labby just goes down instantly. Labby is
And
not
now,
building
yeah.
tanky, and that's just that is Baron right there.
yeah, and that's exactly what I was talking about. If he dies like that, that is objectives gone. He needs to sell Tiamat. He needs to sell the warrior enchantment and get something tanky so he doesn't die, because he will never ever get a good pick. Trading his life for Sivir was very stupid, and there he just traded his life for nothing. So that's Baron, free.
Yeah. It looks like Vlad is going to be caught out here as the equalizer goes in on the Baron, but however, Menbug's going to not smite, but Menbug is just going to take that Baron away from Frontlash. I really do appreciate Frontlash's effort here, but it's not enough, unfortunately. While they did kill, oh my god, wait. The Piper is going to ult in, and Frontlash is going to be caught out here as he does not have flash, and he's just going to sit in the pit and just go down to Piper. Very interesting call here from Fudgy Jitters going over to the wall. Frontlash and Kaisa, and she is going to go down as well. It is not looking good for the Power Bottom Boys.
Stumbling down on these poor calls. Even after Fudgy Jitters must have realized that was poor call to go in to that Baron pit, but I don't think there's any saving them now. They're all kind of past the point where they could really have a huge impact on this game.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you with that. If we could look at score lines here, holy crap. 4-0-6 for Ornn, 5-0-13 for Jungle, 3-1-8 for mid, 7-1-9 for AD carry, and 2-1-10 for support. This is just brutal. Every lane has probably at least an item or two advantage against their enemy, and it's just not looking good here. It's just a matter of time at this point. Power Bottom Boys are down 18 kills. They're down 2 drills. They're down almost 20k in gold. I don't know how the Power Bottom Boys can come back from this. I mean, they're running against the clock. They're running against the team comp. They're running against the gold. They just don't have. They just don't really have a lot going for them, unfortunately. But who knows? It could just be one team fight that slowly gives them the win. But
it's gonna take a lot.
Yeah, it's gonna take a lot.
The conditions here again. Lisa and I see the hammer one. I don't even remember the name of the item, but he's not. That's not a tank item. Get that out of here, Lisa.
Black Cleaver. It's kind of tanky, but
it's a bruiser item. I'm talking Thornmail. I'm talking Spirit Visage, or probably more like a Abyssal Mask, or Phage. He needs to get this bruiser crap out of here and start building tank, because he's not doing damage.
I don't know. I think it's just too late to make a call like that, honestly.
Yeah.
I think he's a very avid Lee Sin player. I think he's probably been in this position before playing from behind, and so I don't know. I would just assume that he's doing what he thinks is right here. And Ornn's just gonna go down to Ornn. Look at this fight in top lane. Ornn's gonna ult here, and it's gonna probably land on Frontlash. Yep. Front Lash gets knocked up and is going to go down to the brittle that Ornn had. I mean, and Ornn's at 3/4 health. Like, what? The inhib is going to go down. I mean, it's just a matter of time. Yeah, they might get Zorando here, but no, actually they won't. He's going to escape. Redemption's going to come and bring back Ornn to full health. Good. Oh my God, the flash in on Piper, and that's just going to be a triple kill here, and that's just a GG. Oh my God.
Well drafted, well executed team from Popo's pecking order right there. That was very well played.
It was just good League of Legends. You know, like we said, they won the pick, which let them win the game. Menbung and his team there just did so well, even with the 2 subs. They were able to play well. I mean, look at these score lines: 5-0, 5-0, 4-1, 8-1, 2-1. I mean, everybody did their job and they executed it so well this game. Wow. You know, going off of that, Euromoose, who do you give MVP to?
So, talking about all these score lines, there's one member of Popo's pecking order whose score stands above the rest, and that's Menbung's. Great jungler. How can I be a great like him? He has participation in 20 of the 24 kills. I don't know the math, but that's a big percentage. He was making plays, and all the plays happened around him. Sivir, of course, important in the Sivir comp, but the Skarner was at almost every single kill in some way participating. So I'm giving the MVP to Skarner. That was really impactful from him. The one play that really stands out in my mind was he was running down Lee Sin, Flash ulted him, pulled him into his team. He never even stood a chance, and that was the Baron after that.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
definitely
good game there for Popo's pecking order, bringing the series back to a 1-all draw. Looking at some stat numbers here for us, we had damage done to champions. Sivir leading the way at 19,000 damage to champions. Vladimir 13,000. Ornn 12,000. Over for Power Bottom Boys 12,800 for Karma. That's Rob. Front Lash at 10,000. Kaisa at 8,000. Lee Sin at 6,000, and then Tarek at 2,000. So pretty helter-skelter numbers here. Most of the damage done in the mid lane and top lane, but definitely the difference in damage numbers done by the Sivir. Opie, you got notes for that game?
I mean, there's not a whole lot to really say there. They it was kind of a pick ban pace thing, and PBB had to get ahead right away. Labby had to make the plays. Rumble had to be snowballing ahead of this Ornn in order to be able to do anything. Mid and bot lane, we're kind of fine. I don't think a Karma in huge team fights is going to have quite the impact of Vlad, like especially the damage output that a Vlad can have, but good for shields and overall keeping like Kaisa alive. But yeah, with no tank and the fact that Popo's pecking order was able to get ahead with that tanky comp that they had that's just going to run at you, there was just no coming back from that. And couldn't keep up on damage.
Yeah, no, I had Labby circled here right at the start of the game as a key player here. Just some little stats for you. Labby at 10 minutes had been killed twice along with Rob. Specifically the homes from Hoagie are really what are setting some of these up. Hoagie roams over, sets vision, and then kind of stays in the vicinity so that when the fight breaks out, he's there to hit the lockdown. I think Hoagie definitely helps secure more kills than not. And then we also see Menbung here having a monster game. Going 20 for 24 kills involved in. That is, 5 of 6? If you simplify it down, which is something like an 82% kill participation. Like that's absurd to me. Actually, it's 87. Still
Who was
an
Vlad?
absurd number. Vladimir Zarwudo goes 1-4-1-8.
Okay.
So that's 12 out of 24. Again, half the kills involved in, but 87% kill participation by Menbung is just a monster game by him, and it really shows in the score lines. You look at Labyrinth was just 2-6-0 with 133 CS. Menbung goes in and takes 26 minions away from Labby in Labby's own jungle. He's got the most invasion minions killed, or neutral minions killed in the enemy jungle in the entire game. So certainly that sets Labby even further behind. Labby dies, loses camps, loses XP.
Yeah, it just set
Side
him
note,
behind.
I'm so sorry, boys. I just made the MVP poll on Straw Poll. Please vote for who you believe is MVP of match 2.
All right, so yeah, get your votes in the chat. Do believe it's posted there by Biscuit Hat. Get those in. Let us know who you thought was the game 2 MVP. Personally, I gotta give it to Menbung. 87%
Yeah,
kill participation.
I would definitely say Menbung was the one who was definitely pushing the tempo the entire time. I mean, Labby got caught out a couple times early, and it set him behind, and then was just never able to be in the right place at the right time. And just overall, PBB just got caught in several places looking like they had their pants around their ankles at that point. Like there was just nothing they could do.
Well,
Like there was a couple questionable engages, Labby jumping in a couple questionable times. Fudgy Ditters had a couple questionable ults in. Front Lash had some awkward positioning, so it was just one thing after the other kept leading to the snowballing effect of, this tanky team with, Sivir, Ornn, Skarner running at you, and there's no counterplay with your team because all your team is trying to do is run back at them, and if you're behind, they're just going to run you over.
yeah, some little stats I picked up also was at 15 minutes, gold lead is 5k. At 20 minutes, gold lead is 9k. At 25 minutes, gold lead is 13k. And by the time the end game ends at 30 minutes, the gold lead is at it looks like 18k gold deficits. Like at every 5 minutes, they're losing kills and objectives, and it was just at no point in time were they able to slow that game down. And I think that does come down to the team composition by Power Bottom Boys. You pick a Karma into Zarwudo, and Karma, for all her strengths, does not do a great job at clearing waves and stalling games out. Fudgy Ditters, again, like the Kaisa, good at getting the isolation picks, not so great at clearing the waves, because you got to get too close to them and then they just siege you down. So those are some things in the pick bans that maybe Power Bottom Boys are going to want to rethink just a little bit going forward into the future. As next up, they play Ocean's E-Girls, which is another one of those teams at the top of the league, currently tied. Well, not tied anymore, but they're the third place team. So that's another top tier match coming your way next week. That will be exciting to see. Anyways, we're going to close the MVP poll not at this time. Last votes, get them in before we call it.
Yeah, I think we could just call it.
Recalling it now.
Skewed,
Yep.
It's skewed in
Yep.
one direction pretty good.
Yep.
All right.
It looks like Menbung will win MVP for game 2 here with 7 votes, followed by StarCraft with 2 and Piper with 2 as well. Congratulations, Menbung. Everybody did extraordinarily well. Sorry about the straw poll. My bad.
Nah, that's fine. Anyways, game 1 MVP, that was Rob. Right? So Rob, I think, went to
Yep.
bed. Yeah, I'm not see Rob anymore. Probably went to bed. I don't blame him. It's like midnight.
Yeah.
over there.
It's-
So, and he has to get up in the morning and work. So, I think we are going to. I gotta sneeze. I think we're gonna skip MVP's chats tonight.
All right, cool.
Oh.
Oh wait, Menbung's here. Hey, Menbung,
Yeah.
is the other captain gonna join us, Fudgy? I don't know if he is.
Um,
Oh wait, no, Fudgy has to get up at 6 a.m. Never mind. Fudgy, don't join us.
Fudgy, get out
so
of here.
Yeah.
We can just do
Great
a really
Penta.
quick one.
Yeah, we're gonna do a quick MVP chat with you. So again, like going into this game, what was kind of the idea for the pick bans? Were you specifically trying to bait out the Lee Sin pick by Labby?
Well, into the second game, yeah, we kind of just felt like Lee Sin's not a good pick right now. Yeah, who won the mystery skin? That's a good point.
Did we give away Mystery Skin?
We were supposed to because it was the game of the week, so we need to do that at the end. Or someone can like do a little thing in the side while we're doing the talk right now and do 2 stones at once.
I actually have no idea
Um,
how to do that. I thought Eric was gonna handle that.
Yeah, I was under the impression that was going to happen as well.
Somebody go grab Greg. Greg's still on.
Yeah, someone go grab him. So I feel like our drafts in both games are really, really good. Fudgy, hey.
Hello.
Hey, Fudgy. Thank you for joining us for the MVP chat. I understand Rob has gone to bed.
Yes, Rob has gone to bed, so I'll fill in for our MVP.
We'll try and make it quick.
Yeah.
You are the MVP. You got the first penta.
I'm very happy about that. He was yelling at my team.
I can only imagine. But yeah, I felt like we drafted well in both games. We were up in both games. We didn't execute to our strengths in the first game, and we just kind of ran around the map and died. And then there was like 7,000 GAs on the side of PBB, so that kind of made it a little bit tough.
The strategy.
And then in the second game, there were times where Piper got into the lobby and says, I want to show him who the real ADC is. And then so he wanted to play something else, but then we said, no, you're playing Sivir. And he's like, okay. And then there was a moment around once we took Baron, and then we went back to fight, that Piper says, I really kind of want to kill them. And then so we just ulted, and he's like, goodbye, Rob, and then we killed everybody, and then Fudgy ulted in, but then flashed out. And then,
Fuck yeah, I did, dude. I wanted the kills. I saw him.
Yeah. If you want to get the Mr. Skin Say Symphonia in chat, all caps.
Yes, all caps. Anyways,
Right.
moving on. So one of the things I noticed from between both games is that what in the world? Lamau Gold? Who is this? Denied.
It was me all along.
Anyways, something I noticed in both games is actually Popo's pecking order was able to build pretty sizable gold leads in either game, like pre 20 minutes. This time, however, you're able to close it out. What was the difference between game 1 and game 2 and closing out that gold lead?
Double Predator and Sivir.
I think, well, yeah. I mean, that's a really good point. The linearness of what our team comp does well was better. Also, I'll take most of the blame on this. I was a little bit more worried about the Nocturne just being a nuisance. It's not like it was huge, but it was it kind of stalled us down, and I had some really, really bad shot calling as well. So yeah, that's kind of where it happened. We should have done different things in the mid to late game before Kog'Maw and Orianna and Nasus, that a team that generally outscales us in team fights does well. But I think Piper, I want to say thank you to Piper for subbing for us as an emergency sub, and then thank you Hoagie, who's been subbing for us for the past 3 weeks as our ADC for the past 2, and support today right on the last minute. So I felt like a 1-1, even though it could have been a 2-1 with 2 subs, is decent. But we need to fix up our mid to late game shot calling, because it seems like we get early leads in most of our games.
All right, and then this next one, I'm directing more to you, Fudgy. Well, first, a quick side comment. Fuck you for ruining Kaisa's win rate. But that's cool.
No, that was
Secondly,
beautiful.
so in that first game, so you guys
Yeah.
came back in the win there. Had a little bit rougher of an early game, but then ended up coming back with the win. What were the comms like? What was the shot calling like in order to try and get yourselves back into that game?
We had really good shot calling, I think, game one. We were getting kind of choked out in terms of vision within our own side of the jungle. So we tried to keep buying pinks, tried to keep wards up. They had to kind of come closer and closer to our base, which is unfortunate. But you'll notice that kind of happened. We get pink wards taken out over and over again. There's a reason why Menbung had a vision score of like 130 or whatever it was at the end of game one. Was because we were just trying to place as many wards and get as many eyes on them as we could. And trying to funnel farm into myself and into Oriana and leave Nasus to do Nasus things in the third lane. So it was kind of tough because their rotations are a lot faster than ours based on their like early lead and the two Drakes. But we were able to kind of play to our comp, and even though it was like a really rough early game, scale up, get the fights we ended up wanting, and end up with the W. So.
Well, it was very well played of you guys in the end there.
So, chat, you got any questions for our MVP/captains? All I see is arguing about skins that apparently Violet Sociocat won.
I got a quick question. Does anyone know where I can buy food off of PayPal? Like using PayPal?
Probably the internet.
Postmates.
Well, I know, but
or Uber Eats probably will take a PayPal, and I bet they'll
Uber
have
Eats.
those in Houston.
Yeah, Uber Eats is a good idea. Thanks. I'm just. I'll say it off stream. I don't want to put out my shit in chat.
I mean, if you've seen the post in the PMASGN group, I think you know what's up.
Yeah,
We'll just
but
leave it at
there are
that.
There are some non-brothers here.
Yep.
So.
That's what I said. We'll just leave it at that for now. Anyways, Sean, big fan. How do I become a great jungler like you?
Okay, I'm just gonna tell everybody the goddamn this. When I started streaming and I would get like 1 or 2 viewers, which by the way, OP and Karut are like my 2 like most loyal viewers. But then there's this guy named Hansu. Okay, Panda, you've been there, but you haven't like been there from the beginning.
That's because you didn't make me a mod.
You've been there, but you haven't been.
Okay, well maybe I will if you love me. Okay, no. But there's
Why
this
am I not
guy
a mod yet?
named Hansu who just would come in. He wouldn't even watch my goddamn thing, but he would come in, type, "Hey Sean, great jungler," or "Hey Sean, big fan. How can be a great jungler like you?" And then he just said it in every time, and then my whole team got on board with it, and now everybody. Now there's a goddamn freaking command in Twitch chat, which is kind of cool, but I hate it. So it means I'm just gonna change my name, and then boom, it doesn't work anymore. No. I think it's funny.
You just typed it into chat.
I know. I think it's kind of funny, but I think Hansu's great at memes, and I really appreciate everybody's support for my stream and myself.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
And that was a crazy ass series, Fudgy. So GG, well played.
Dude, yeah, that was probably the most fun game one I think I've ever had.
Dude, game 1. Ah! Like, when y'all ulted in and we actually killed y'all, we got the first inhibitor, we're like, "Hey guys, we got this." And then I'm like, "Let's do this again." And we died and lost.
Ugh.
I'm so upset. Okay.
The epic turtle.
I'm not salty at all. Don't worry, guys.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, I think we're going to call it an evening for it tonight. Thank you all for tuning in. My name was Fleeing Panda. I had so much fun casting tonight. We had Biscuit Hat, who was here somewhere. I think he took off. You're a Moose.
Yeah.
And Opie as well. At an analyst test. We tried a couple things new. We'll see. We got a few kinks to work out here with our stuff. So, but anyways, Hope you all have a lovely evening. And we are going to get out.
Good morning.
We got.